Jungle.
We are in the heart of Greece. For centuries, the Acropolis has been attracting millions of visitors. The Acropolis has also given its name to one of the competitions of the World Car Championship. 1981 turned out to be a true star show. The names of virtually all the world's best drivers and co-drivers were on the lineup. Cars of well-known makes represented the peak of world automotive engineering. The Audi Quattro team was in the center of attention. The second factory car is driven by Michel Mouton of France. This is Yvonne Mehta, navigating her husband in a Datsun. And this is Shekhtar Mehta, seasoned participant in the world's most exciting rallies, a tete-a-tete with Czechoslovakia's Jiří Kotek. 3 Wartburgs and 3 Trabants represented the German Democratic Republic. Skoda cars too shone among the stars. But why all this equipment? Hanna Mikkola of Finland says,
"Oh yes, it's the same old safari. It's always very difficult."
Can you Skoda cars from Czechoslovakia?
Yes, I know them very well. They are selling very well, those in Finland.
Yes, and what mind you about this chance here in Greece?
It's so difficult to say because this is one of the hardest rally to finish in the Europe, so we will see.
Vašku, co bys řekl, že je největší problém téhleté soutěže?
Největší problém
Václav Blahna, what would you say was the biggest problem of this rally? I think that the problem is the chassis, which gets a severe punishment on these rough roads. The tires are another big problem. As a result of our experience 2 years ago, when we used Japanese Dunlops and found them unsuitable, we have plumped for Michelin RC1s. We've tested them in quite a few tough events. We think these tires will come out here on top. Just to give you an idea, the year before last, with the Dunlops, I had 17 punctures in a single rally. I hope this will not happen this year.
Když jsme měli pneumatiky Dunlop, jsem za soutěž prorazil 17 pneumatik. Doufám, že letos teda to bude lepší.
A kolik sebou povezete rezerv?
How many spares have you got?
Ve voze vezeme 2 rezerva.
We have 2 in the car to cope with emergencies and to be able to finish the speed test. What is it like finding one's way about in a country like Greece? Co-drivers Kotek and Skovanek say, to put it briefly, pretty awful. It's not so bad for the 2 of us, since this is the second time Svata and I are here. We know what to expect. Pavel might tell you more about it, as he has never been here before. There are problems with orientation right on the route, as the itinerary is riddled with notes like narrow village, which means literally a one-car road with thousands of tiny narrow paths branching off to houses and backyards. This is the greatest problem, but somehow we have managed so far, so I hope the whole rally will turn out all right.
Takže doufám, že i při soutěži to dopadne dobře.
Okay, thank you. The lights, please. Yeah.
The cars of the 2 crews passed a thorough scrutineering by a team of technical inspectors. This car is manned by Václav Blahna and Pavel Skovanek. Meanwhile, we have looked up Franz Wittmann of Austria, another of the Audi drivers. Herr Wittmann, what do you think of this year's rally? To my mind, it's much tougher than last year. The mileage, too, is going to be a big problem. Is it true that you drove 1,000 kilometers non-stop on a speed test section in an Audi Quattro until the car fell into pieces? Yes, we did a 1,000-kilometer test, and we did have problems. At least we know what we are in for. What do you think of the chances of the Skoda cars? They are excellent and enduring cars. I think they might snatch first places. Svatopluk Kvaizar and Jiří Kotek are making their second appearance in the Acropolis Rally. Everything is in fine fettle with both Skodas, and the cars have been admitted. Svatopluk Kvaizar too can enjoy his last 12 hours of rest.
Okay, thank you.
What, in your opinion, are the best tactics for this year's Acropolis Rally? We've gone through this many times in practicing. I think the best tactics would be to go slow, but to get into the time limit, and in any case, to finish the race. The centre of the rally was, as usual, at the summer resort of Lagonissi, 40 kilometres south of Athens. At the turn of May, the season was nearly in full swing. However, you would waste your time looking for the drivers, co-drivers or mechanics among the swimmers and sunbathers. No azure sea, warm sand, parasols or lolling about for them. On the contrary, the Skoda teamsters were among those who spent the last hours before the rally in hard work. Vasil Karaindros's garage, the authorized Skoda dealer in Athens, was busy with the prelude to the great event. The night before the start, it was necessary to prepare the support vehicles as well, and to work out a precise plan of their stands.
Je to v horách vesnička malá, do které se dost špatně dostávat.
Mám tam dobrý označení.
Je tam špatný značení. Mám takový dojem, že tam posledně byl.
The support vehicles are manned by mixed Czechoslovak-Greek crews. Many of them helped on two previous occasions where Skodas took part.
Το φερναίο ξέρεις που είναι να του... Όσο πιο κοντά γίνεται στο κοντρόλ, αλλά πριν. Οπωσδήποτε να είναι έτοιμη η βενζίνη και η ρεζέρβα.
Good and precise work of the staff makes all the difference. That is why Kotek and Skovanek paid great attention to meticulous planning.
Αμέσως για θα έχουν λίγο χρόνο.
Další štace doprovod C-čko. Anda, ano. Na hlavní silnici číslo 74.
Γιώργο,
směrem na Olympii a Vitinu.
Στο δρόμο για Βιτίνα και Ολυμπία.
Na křižovatce, kterou máte zakreslenou v mapě, jo?
Στη διασταύρωση που έχετε γραμμένη απάνω στο χάρτη.
The first Monday of June 1981. Ari Vatanen of Finland, the previous year's winner, on the starting line with number 1. Brimming with confidence. There's no one to beat me this year. Datsun arrived in Greece in tremendous force. This is Salonen. Fiat crew number 1, Alen Kivimaki. And the Skoda boys, Kvaizar Kotek, Blahna Skovanek. The first speed test. Ari Vatanen, pretty impressive, but not the fastest. Bjorn Valdegard with his Toyota Celica. He used to be world champion, but this car is giving him trouble. Mikola in his Audi Quattro. A four-wheel drive car is not at its best on tarmac, yet he managed to come in second. The only ones faster were Mouton and Ponce in another Quattro. Then, however, nobody suspected that the Acropolis Rally would become a rout for the Audis. By the middle of the rally, all the three Audis had been disqualified for unauthorized modifications. So Wittmann's effort too was all in vain. On faster roads, the Skodas cannot compete on equal terms with more powerful cars, and here a hill climb was added. Yet both crews were doing well. They were right behind the Category A drivers. The first speed test, with its end high up in the mountains, also marked the end of the tarmac. What followed now were 1,200 kilometers of speed tests in dust and on rough roads. Dust, dirt, heat, potholes. This Greek marathon race was a grueling affair. Baldegard was out with serious trouble right after the 7th speed test, the first in a long series of outstanding drivers. The world premiere of the Mitsubishi Lancer Turbo was ill-starred too. This is where Kulang had to retire, and a little later on Cowan too. You simply cannot cool a turbo in this heat. The Skodas were forging ahead without any troubles. The special heavy-duty modifications seemed to have paid well. Moreover, the two drivers were holding their cars back a little, sticking to their planned tactics. Kvasar in the 12th, Blahna in the 15th places. Better than expected. Dozens of cars had dropped off by now. The night mercifully covered up the potholes made by the torrents of water from thawing mountain snow in spring. The northern branch of the rally was over. Darkness also covered the bitter feelings of unhappy Kvasar, who had dropped to 17th place after a misunderstanding with his Greek support car. But the cars are in good condition, and all that's needed is just a preventive exchange of fatigued parts. The servicing is well near over. What do you feel now you have completed the first stage? It was awfully difficult, but the car is all right. We've just finished working on it, so I hope that tomorrow's stage will be pretty uneventful. Blahna had every reason to feel true satisfaction, but they were all giving their cars maximum care.
Zvedněte to nahoru a vyměňte to, ale po frku.
Za jak dlouho máte být, Pavle, v Lagonesi?
Asi za 35 minut.
A je to
50 kilometrů a tady je provoz v noci stejné.
How long is it going to take you to get to Lagonisi? About 35 minutes to cover those 50 kilometers. Traffic is as heavy at night as it is in daytime, so driving about Athens is rather unnerving. And yet you have the courage to have the starter motor exchanged. Well, I have to, as tomorrow the car must be in good shape, and we have to start it up in the compound. I think we can manage. In a little while, we'll probably be breaking the traffic regulations a bit. Everybody seemed for a moment to be living for the Acropolis Rally. Even the shepherd in the remotest village would tell you where the next speed test was going to take place. The starting lineup had halved by the time of the start of the second half of the rally. The missing entries included the disqualified Quattros. That gave the lead to Vatanen. His Escort, a classic rally car, was well up to its good reputation, and Vatanen himself, just look at him. The temperamental Markku Allen in second place. Salonen, another Finn, defending the colours of Japan. The Greek Carlo, a great rival of Czechoslovak drivers with his Renault Alpine. Blachner lying in 8th place among the world's elite. Quasar close behind, but he ran out of fuel, which made him drive at full speed to regain the time loss, and the result was a crash. Bad luck. In their third start in the Acropolis, the Skodas seemed to have a brilliant success within reach. All the same, Blachner's 8th place in this super event was a success in itself. The spectators were excited and full of temperamental comment. Children and all the towns and villages along the route had a day off from school. Crowds of people gathered, some in the most impossible places, on both sides of the track. The final speed test on the Peloponnesus was unlikely to affect the results. A Talbot driven by Toivonen finished 4th. Mehta, in 3rd place, was the only one who had the guts to whip up his Datsun to top performance right up to finish. This is indeed an ideal car for rough tracks. At nearly each service point, the mechanics exchanged some part of the chassis easily and in the shortest time. Allen, in his well-proven Fiat, managed to hold on to the 2nd position. Ari Vatanen was able to take his time to finish the event. His lead was ample. This unassuming 23-year-old Finn won his 2nd Acropolis rally in succession, thus showing that his confidence before the race was no empty bragging. The Olympic Stadium in Athens cheered to welcome only 22 survivors out of the 134 original starters. Among the finishers was the Skoda 130, driven by Blachner and Skavanek. They were 8th in the overall results and 1st in their class. A long way down were all the Ladas, Opels, Renaults. Walter Röhrl of the Federal Republic of Germany, 1980 world champion in a Fiat. In spite of the disqualifications, the Quattro proved to be unbeatable on rough roads. Skoda finished 8th. What do you think of that? I was not in the least surprised. I saw in the Austrian rally last January what a fantastic car on snow and sand the Skoda can be.